Question number 1. Why was Tony Martel told to remove the word "ook" from his shop window? First point is Decker's rightful ownership of the ook name and instructed them to stop or face litigations. Second is Martel had been ejected from eBay where they sold ooks. ICANN, the Internet regulatory body, has ordered that to stop using ook from its domain name. Second, what is the intellectual property in this case? The answer is trademark. In 1971, Shane Stateman, the local surf champion, began selling ooks and registering the name. In 1979, Brian Smith founded Ook Holding Incorporation, a company which registered the ook trademark in 25 countries.
Abdul Hamid, so I will continue with questions number 3. The question is, why have a problem with the use of word recently come to a head? The problem is when Australian retailer began selling us on the internet to meet the rising demand from overseas. Decker sent a letter to Martel claiming that Decker had the right to the name Erg, and he had intruded to avoid them from using Erg or face a lawsuit. Now, trademark Erg is under Decker Outdoor Corporation.
Question 4 is, how can Deckers instruct Australian manufacturer to stop using the name of the UGG? UGG Holding Incorporation was established and they bought the trademark in 1979. Deckers' trademark in the US and 25 international countries were licensed for Deckers, and the trademark of the UGG first started to claim the new trademark. Deckers sent letter of terminate and removal to the Australian company who used the name of the UGG for their boots and do not take any action. Letter was be sent for reminding Decker that it hold and authorize all right in the UGG name to stop or to face in the litigation. And the manufacturer also are being told to change the UGG name from using for their boots or shops. Next, in the question 5, the question is in what ways the internet can affect the trademarks. American manufacturer who selling the UGG over the internet, preventing them from selling the UGG name on the eBay or from using the words as their domain name or registered business name. When access to the web, the ways the trademark influence the UGG Australians, but the name of the Deckers does not sell the Tony Martel's boot worldwide.
Question 6. Why is it important for Australian firms to be able to use the name Ook, especially in terms of their trade names? Australian manufacturers and retailers of Ook goods should avoid using the word Ook when selling, advertising or exporting sheepskin footwear in the US.
Okay, for the question 7, what was Brian Smith's contribution to the present problem? In 1979, they set up a company which is UGG Holding Incorporation, and they also registered the UGG trademark in 25 countries. And then in 1995, they sold out the company to the Decker. And for the question 8, what are Decker cracking on and why? Decker are cracking down any shoes company that use the words UGG because the demand of the boot increasing at the overseas.
Question number 1. Why is the Malaysian government interested in innovation? Malaysian government intend to diversify the economy in order to diminish its reliance on primary commodities such as rubber, palm nut oil, and tin, and encourage manufacturing. Second point, innovation is very useful for the Malaysian as the country that had to move towards an industry structure based on higher value-added technology-intensive production. Third, according to Vision 2020, the Malaysian Prime Minister ambitious plan for the country was highlight the importance of technology department. Lastly, hence it will help Malaysia to enhance the scope of industrial activities beyond simple assembly and production through development of indigenous technology.
Number 2. The question is, why had the Malaysian industrial development up until the 1990s done title to embrace the country innovation capability? The answer is the growth in manufacturing had existed primarily in the area of a labor-intensive production, depending on the low wage and the productions of primary resources. They need innovations to transition into higher value market as they reach a critical growth stage. Number 3. The question is, what is foreign direct investment? Foreign direct investment is referred to an investment to gain long-term or long-term interest in company located outside the investor economy. These functions of a foreign direct investment is attractive to the country on the basis of low wage and availability of a resource.
The question 4 is asking about what is the purpose of the Multimedia Super Corridor. The Multimedia Super Corridor is a dedicated field of government to the Malaysia to access the information and knowledge base. It seeks to be encouraged company with temporary tax reduction to be further supported by first, the a strategy that is targeted in developing educated and intellect-rich society by 2020. Second is the e-government planning. Third is virtual high-class work facility with very high connectivity standard. And the last one is Multimedia Super Corridor has a variety areas such as development center, research center, federal office, and the last one is the industrial.
Okay, for question 5, which well-known location famous for its capacity for innovation is the Multimedia Super Corridor targeted? The Silicon Valley, located in San Francisco, the corridor is known as Silicon Valley in Malaysia. This is to attract world-class companies to invest in Malaysia under the MSC initiatives. For question 6, towards which of the innovation policy objectives of the Malaysian government is the Multimedia Super Corridor targeted? There are flagship applications targeted by the government. First, knowledge transfer from a range of incentives designed that attract foreign direct investment. Second, government support and help in developing and commercializing new technologies. And lastly, the electronic government aims to reinvent public services. Question 7. To what extent is Multimedia Super Corridor an example of the Malaysian government pursuing the lead user objective? First, Malaysian government role in the project was centered, which is provide an appropriate infrastructure. And then, application are designed, which is to transpond core element of Malaysia technology and environment. And then for the last question, which is question 8, what is the smart card contribution to innovation in Malaysia? Okay, the smart card is providing a multi-purpose card that will arrange of the application. And then the primary purpose is to act as an identity card for all adults over the age of 12.